Boyfriend 26M steps over my 26F semi-conscious body and leaves me on the floor. How should I react? I 26F am anemic and it often makes me lightheaded and prone to fainting. The other day I had a bit of a bad spell that didn't clear as quickly as usual. I fell to the floor and was staying conscious but barely, and trying to prop myself up against a doorway thinking lying flat would make it worse. The only part of me really propped up was my head. My vision went completely, but I was still conscious. I heard my boyfriend's 26M footsteps and thought, thank God. But then I felt his foot brush over my stomach and heard his steps continue past me. Vito, we have been together for 4 years. The back door opened and he went outside. After a few minutes, I was recovered enough to crawl to my bed. After the shock of what had just happened passed, I confronted my BF about stepping over my semi-conscious body and leaving me on the floor. He said he knew I would be okay since it was just my anemia, so there was no reason to get involved. He also said he peeked his head back inside after a few minutes and saw that I was no longer on the floor, so he thought I was all good. The situation honestly horrified me and made me feel like less than the dirt on the floor. But my BF says I am just overreacting. It wasn't serious. So why should I be mad that he did take it seriously? It's true, it wasn't a serious medical emergency, but it was still scary, and I could have used help. Am I overreacting? I feel like, serious or not, when someone falls, you help them, especially someone you care about. His lack of action indicates to me a lack of basic care or consideration for me. Am I right to be really concerned by this response? How should I respond? I see a lot of comments about assuming I have not sought treatment or attempted to care for myself, which is a wild assumption. I have been caring for my health and taking the necessary supplements since I was diagnosed. Most of the time it is manageable. On this day it was a bad day, and I didn't pull out of the episode as quickly or easily as I normally would. I decay why, but it could be a host of factors. And even when I have fainted, I have required very little from my partner. Update. I'm leaving today. A lot of people have assumed that I am some drama queen fainting on the daily and milking it for all it's worth. 98% of my condition I guarantee he is not even aware of. I decided a long time ago not to bother or inconvenience him, but the truth is, I probably knew he wouldn't want or do anything to help anyway. It has never been his responsibility to take care of me. All I wanted was the human decency of not being stepped over one of the few times I actually needed him. I've done all the cooking, all the cleaning, all the laundry, while financially supporting this man through school. This has pushed me over the edge. I didn't want to leave without trying my best, because I fell in love with him from day one. But I can't do this anymore. I'm dying inside. I bought a ticket back home, super expensive, but fuck the money, it would have just gone to paying his rent anyway. Also, a lot of people have told me to get tested for POTS as my symptoms align more with that than basic anemia. So once I get home, I'll go get that checked out. Story 2. My 34M wife, 35F, says our marriage is ending because I was not available to support her at her lowest, and she resents me deeply. How do I save my marriage? We have been together for 10 years and married for 4. Like any couple, we have our ups and downs. My wife now says she deeply resents me, and her resentment for me only grows. She cannot see me as the same because I was unavailable emotionally when she needed me most, and sees our marriage ending when we have a 2.5-YO and 4-month-old. It's been a very difficult situation. I've been very busy at work, which is essentially a small business, and our deadlines are statutory. Our newborn was born a month before the deadline. So I was already stretched thin between work and the baby, which was the worst possible time for me to help with the baby. Furthermore, my wife's mom, my Mael, had a stroke and was in poor health before the stroke, so all hell has broken loose. Given my work situation, a newborn and loved one in poor health, my wife and I are in survival mode because my wife is also the caregiver for my MIL. So between taking care of all the house chores, dishes, laundry, taking care of the older kid, helping with the baby, working late every night, and helping my disabled Mael, I had no energy for supporting my wife emotionally, as I was exhausted every day. She struggled with postpartum depression, and when she reached out to family for help, no one would come. She asked for more of my help and attention, but I was not able to support her as I had no energy myself. When my work situation improved, she first told me it made her angry that I was more relaxed and available to help more. Fast forward to today, she can't see me in the same light, and I have pledged to gain back her trust and provide the security she needs, but does not believe me. If I had to do things over again, I would have dropped everything at work, even if it meant me losing my job, although she understood the importance of meeting my deadlines. Now that I am more available and her mom is doing better, she can't let go of her anger towards me for not being there when she needed me, and sees our marriage ending soon. She says we're two people sharing the same space, but not actually together. How do I fix things between us and save my marriage?